efficiencies
I was like,
into in the alley.
Yeah. All previous.
Can do that, definitely.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's get this meeting rolling with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Blue it is, not green, blue. Again, good morning, everyone. Unfinished business or correspondence, Karen? The record remains. Okay, looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated March 23rd, 2022 as presented.
So, second.
You call for vote, please.
Mr. Bowles.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr.
We are looking for a motion to approve invoices in the amount of $1,631,566.53 for the period March 24th through April 12th, 2022.
So,
Second. Call for vote on that, please, Karen.
Mr. Bowles.
Yes.
Mr. Ward.
Yes.
Mr.
yes.
Again, we're looking for a motion that the actual gross payroll in the amount of $254,351.21 be approved for payment for the period March 13th through March 26th, 2022.
So, second.
You call for vote, please, Karen.
Mr. Bowles.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Chris.
We are looking for a motion to enter into a professional services agreement with MCM Consulting Group Incorporated to assist in updating the county's hazard mitigation plan.
So, second.
Call for a vote on that, please.
Mr. Bowles.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Chris.
Yes.
Then, did you have anything, I apologize, did you have anything to say, or anybody?
Chris, Mike.
Chris?
This is just the every 5-year reevaluation of that mitigation plan. That is required the county to have in possession. So by using a consulting firm, they can better organize that plan. They have more resources to identify what's already been in place in years prior, evaluate changes in the past 5 years, put that plan together. Placing that plan together can provide the county with funding opportunities during emergency events and thereafter. So it's a very important thing to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed when it comes to that hazard mitigation plan. MCM has done thousands of them over the years for different counties, different agencies. And there's no doubt they will very well put a plan together this time as well. So.
Okay. Thanks. I will, if anybody has any questions, Chris.
You'll answer questions if we have. Thanks. I think I will. I'll have the whole thing.
Okay, we are looking for a motion to proclaim the week of April 18th through 24th as National Osteopathic Medicine Week in Jefferson County.
Second.
Anybody here to address that? Oh, there you go. What's
Good
your?
morning, I'm Lisa Witherite-Brigg. I'm osteopathic family physician, and I am the president-elect of the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association. So on behalf of POMA, thank you for making this proclamation. There are 10,000 practicing osteopathic physicians in the state of Pennsylvania and 2,300 residents, osteopathic residents that train in Pennsylvania, some of who train right here in Jefferson County in the Brookville Rural Health Center. So on behalf of doctors who are committed to caring for the whole person. Osteopathic medicine was founded on the tenets of body, mind, and spirit, and those three things must exist in concert to preserve health and to relieve disease and injury. So on behalf of us, thank you.
So we will call.
Mr. Bullers.
Yes.
Mr. Norton.
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro. Yes.
So now we are looking for a motion to congratulate Lisa Witherite Rigg, EO, on her installation as the 111th president of the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association. So, second.
Thank you.
And we will call for a vote on that, please. Could we call her up, please? Sure. Doctor.
This proclamation congratulating you on being the 111th president
First ever Jefferson.
and the first ever from Jefferson County. So we appreciate everything you do and we're very blessed.
Thank you.
We'll get this slide.
Thanks so much.
Okay, now we will call for the vote.
Mr. Bullers.
Yes.
Mr. Norton.
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro.
Yes.
We are looking for a motion to proclaim the month of April 2022 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Jefferson.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and every child does matter. Pinwheels represent a symbol of child abuse prevention across the United States. As a symbol of child abuse prevention, the pinwheel represents what every child should have and should be able to do: laugh and play, and not worry about physical or sexual abuse. CARES joins with more than 40 child advocacy centers across the state to draw attention to the importance of providing children with safe, healthy environments. The pinwheel also sends a message that children that have been abused can experience a joyful childhood with the intervention and support that child advocacy centers provide victims through the child advocacy services. Child victims can heal from trauma. In 2021, CARES served over 300 child victims and their families by providing a collaborative team response to cases involving suspected abuse, bringing together law enforcement, children and youth services, medical providers, trauma therapists, and we intervene to stop abuse and ensure that victims and caregivers are getting the support and the resources that they need. In 2021, CACs across PA served 15,474 child victims of abuse. 63% of those children were under the age of 13. 75% of those children were sexually abused. 20% were physically abused, and 5% was severe neglect. First steps in preventing abuse is to know the signs of abuse. We have prepared information and education posts on our Facebook page for every weekday of this month, and are also asking newspapers to print info that we will provide them. Businesses and schools have joined us in supporting our efforts with the Pinwheel Garden that we have here. And they're putting those pinwheels in their windows along with our sign to show the support that they have. And we also are featuring them on our Facebook page. The commissioners have agreed to light up the bell tower in blue for the month of April, and thank you for that. And also, we're requesting a proclamation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anybody have anything they want to ask Pat? Jeff, did you have anything you wanted to add to anything?
I don't want to overstay my welcome. I will just say a couple things. Back in 2008, when Western PA Cares for Kids was born, a member of our board, who is still a member of our board, a highly treasured member, said to me, Jeff, do we really need this here? Really, a question that he now no longer asks. 1,500 interviews later, approximately, we know that we need this. We've created a model here in Jefferson County that I think is a shining star in the state of Pennsylvania. We've gone to Harrisburg and talked about it as people try to learn how to replicate the success we've had. We have created a child-friendly environment where kids feel safe to disclose the most awful things in their life that we need to know so that we can protect them. We've created a system, but we never, ever become satisfied. And so we are constantly tweaking our system and trying to make it better and better as we see the gaps and the flaws in our system. And so we've recently made a hire that I'm really excited about. A retired Pennsylvania State trooper who was a lieutenant at the time of his retirement. I worked with him on big cases over the years, and I knew how bright, competent, and accomplished he was. And he is now the multidisciplinary team, investigative team coordinator. And he works as a liaison between law enforcement, my office, children and youth services. And we're really excited to see what that position will become as he starts to put his hand to the task of making investigations better and even more child friendly. I'm also excited about the change in leadership in our CYS. And I'm excited to see what we can do together, Kareth. Because I think that in this new age, especially after the pandemic too, agencies really have to lock arms and work together. We have to be in lockstep and be on the same team. There is no room in child abuse investigation for fighting and for petty quarrels. It is a time for us all to work together, and I'm really optimistic about our future. So thank you.
Thank you. Kara, I am going to call on you also, if it's okay.
It is,
Thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, for the kind welcome, and Pat for so eloquently speaking about the services that the CAC provides our kids in Jefferson County. It's immeasurable. I was practicing before it came to be, and I've obviously been practicing after, and I can't tell you how many cases we've been able to move forward because of the disclosures that were made at the CAC that we might not have gotten in the old days when kiddos had to tell their story to 10 different people. They make them very difficult to prosecute. They make them very difficult to manage. And with the CAC, there's one person that then that information can be shared. So it's really, the model is brilliant, but the application has been quite excellent, and we're very fortunate for it. I'm looking forward to meeting the new MDT coordinator and starting that work, because I don't know if we've had a really terrific collaboration over the past years, and I don't think through any fault of any particular person, it just never got to fruition. I am confident those days are past and that we're moving forward really as a collaborative team to try to keep kids and families safe, and the cases that need to end up in front of Jeff do, and the cases that don't, so that he can keep a focus on his work and we can keep a focus on ours. So we have competent and capable experts here to serve children and families. And I finally feel like we're kind of all getting in the same boat and we're all rowing in the same general direction, which seems like an easy thing to do. It's really not. You have to have the right people to do it. And I'm grateful. I'm appreciative that I get the opportunity to do it. And obviously anyone who knows or loves people who love child welfare and wants to come work at the agency, please encourage them to do so. We could always use more bodies, but before I do want to just share one thing. Everybody in this room is familiar with the idea of mandated reporters, right? People that are obligated to report child abuse when they see it. I just got a notice from the state that the phone lines are incredibly short-staffed right now, right? So if you want to call the number to report a case of child abuse or a concern, Their goal is to have hold time less than 5 minutes, right? They're not meeting that goal, they acknowledge. They also are trying to keep their dropped calls below 5%, because any dropped call could be that case. Right now, they're hovering between 8 and 9% because, and they attribute it to, they have 14 vacancies in their office. You need bodies to actually answer the phone, right? So right now, the majority of the calls coming through Childline are mandated reporters that have access to computers and can do their reporting online. It's a very robust system at keepkidsafe.pa.gov. Every hospital, every doctor's office should have access to it. It's online. Everyone who's done any mandated reporter training should be familiar with the site. We're asking everybody that works at a school or an institution that has access to the internet, that has a concern, to run it through keepkidsafe.pa.gov. Because if the phone lines are being bogged down by people that have another way to report, the person at the grocery store that sees something that calls concern and calls in might not be able to get through. So we're realizing that we really want to try to keep those lines open for the people that might not have access to the other resources, so that hopefully the number of dropped calls goes down, right? The number of missed opportunities to lay eyes on a kiddo that might be in trouble are minimized. So I know there are still some agencies that are filling out paper and faxing them to the agency. It's fine, but it creates an enormous amount of work on the back end that the website takes care of for us. So that's my pitch. Mandated reporters, please, please, please use the portal. It can make all the difference on the back end for us to get out to see kids. I don't have anything else, but thank you.
Thank you very much. So Pat, Jeff, Karen, if anybody has any questions for them or even comments that they'd like, you can do it now, you can catch them afterwards. So appreciate what you did. So, okay, we'll call for a vote on that.
Mr. Bowlers.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yeah. Motion to proclaim the month of April as Autism Awareness Month. So, is there anybody here to speak on autism? Okay, call for a vote on that, please.
Mr. Bowlers.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Yes. We are looking for a motion to approve the transfer of funds from the restricted funds to the capital funds in the amount of $44,024.36 to pay for a sheriff's department vehicle. So. I will second that. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Bowlers.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Bizarro.
Looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-07, authorizing the chairman of the Board of Commissioners to execute any and all documents pertaining to the Jefferson County Bridge number 21 with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation.
Second.
Thank you. Call for vote on that, please.
Mr. Bowlers.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Bizarro.
One thing we didn't have, Telecommunications Week, April 10th through the 16th. Chris, Tracy, who'd like to speak on that? Chris?
This is a week set aside every year to recognize the men and women that answer emergency calls through the 911 system, non-emergency calls as well, amongst other things. It's just the moment to acknowledge them for sights unseen and activities that go under appreciated sometimes. Whenever they're called upon, a lot of times they're the forgotten responder whenever it comes to people's needs and help. But the telecommunicators are the first line of defense in somebody's darkest hour, darkest moment, the worst moment of their life. Without getting into the details, there's been a lot of that lately. That they've several of them, many of them, most of them, all of them have encountered, not only in Jefferson County, but elsewhere. So this is just a moment to take the week and appreciate them. Our dispatchers, amongst other ones in the region, we'll do a lunch for them today and throughout the week, and then we plan on even taking it throughout the month of April, just to extend our appreciation to our people, but, they also get appreciation from like Stat Medevac, different organizations that work with us hand in hand during different emergencies. So all of that's appreciated. And again, it's just to recognize these people for the hard work that they do in a very stressful environment and conditions that they have to endure.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Chris?
I listen to a lot of the 911 calls in my job over the years, and I just want to compliment the agency, their calmness, their competence, their professionalism when they're dealing with very frantic people many times, and how they get help dispatched to them very quickly, and they do a great job.
Thank you.
And on a personal note, being one of those frantic people, they were awesome with me.
Thank you very much. Okay, so as a proclamation for the week of April 10th through 16th, could we call it for a vote, please? Karen?
Mr. Bowles?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Sargent?
Thank you. And under announcements, all county offices will be closed on Friday, April 15th in observance of Good Friday. Commissioners meeting April 26th at 10:30 a.m. here in Jefferson Place. And the jail board meeting April 26th here at 12 o'clock p.m. So we'll open up for public comments at this time. No public comments. Okay, we'll close those and open to the press.
Where's that bridge number 21 located at?
Sportsburg.
Oh, that bridge. Yeah, I know where it's at. That's not a good bridge.
It's a great place.
Is that a quote? Right.
The election. I'm sorry, Jane. Yes. Yeah, go ahead with, yes, I apologize for that.
Recently, I reported that I was on the no tolling of the bridges that are potentially being tolled in Jefferson and Clarion and several other places. So I did tell the press that we would be inviting them to come, and we had something to share with them. So we want to invite you to the meeting event on Thursday, April 14th at 2 p.m. about the participation of local chambers, economic development corporations in our region's organization with the No P3 Bridge Tolls Coalition. The location is at the Clarion County Administrative Conference Room, 330 Main Street, or by Zoom. I will be sending you a press release with the Zoom link hopefully today. The No P3 Bridge Toll Coalition was formed by like-minded organizations to educate the public on what we feel the impact to our communities. We're all concerned about what impact this project will have on economies, traffic, and public safety, among other reasons. Clarion, Jefferson, and Venango organizations have joined to make sure that all avenues of funding or explorers prior to construction on this system. We are concerned about what impact this project will have on our economies, traffic, and public safety, among other reasons. So we'd appreciate participation. So on Thursday, 2 o'clock at the Clarion Administrative Building, the commissioners are at, you're invited. The press is certainly welcome to come. Tracy, I don't know how that will impact you as far as EMS potential, but if you would like to come or get on the Zoom, we'll make sure you find out about it. I know the commissioners have been very supportive to this no tolling coalition. So just want to update you that the press is, we're going to bring you in and talk about what we've been doing and what results we've been seeing and what we can do together. So thank you for the time.
Thank you. Any questions for James?
I'd like to ask Jamie. This group, their objective is to prevent or stop the tolling of the bridges.
We are looking into yes and no. We're looking into the legality of it, of the process that PennDOT used to be able to do it. That is the main mission. And if we can find out that the way they did it was illegally, that's going to give us a better voice and better arm to be able to stop it. So that's really what, and it's all across the state. We're dealing with chambers.
Right, it's not just our bridge.
No.
They're all, it's all over the common line.
There are 9 bridges. I have them all listed here. We're going to talk about that, what, we've been trying to do with Harrisburg and leaders to see if we can get our voice out to at least have them take a second look at this, of how the process was, and find a different way to, we know the bridges probably do need fixed, find a different way to fund that. So that's our mission.
The commissioners of Jefferson County have attended some of these, and we are in opposition to the toll. And we stand on that side of the issue. Another thing where, so that it's not an all or nothing, and PennDOT keeps turning a blind eye to this as a possibility, and that is, if the tolling is going to take place, then do an exemption for the host and surrounding counties, so that the people who live and work there, use those bridges on a daily basis, won't be negatively impacted. So ask that to be considered as a fallback position, not to water down or negate in any way the primary objective, stopping. But if it has to happen, say for example, the North Fork Bridge gets tolled, then the people of Jefferson County, and our view is also the adjoining counties, should be exempt, because we have people that live in Jefferson County that work in Clarion, with people who live in Clarion that work in Jefferson County. It's a regional impact, and it's negative.
And we don't want to see, I mean, Tracy, you know what it's like when you have to come through town for an emergency. We don't want to see people start using downtown as their route to avoid a toll. I'm sure you could concur that that would not be the best solution. So we're trying to make our voices heard all over the state, and we have a large group. And so this is a local press release for what we're doing locally, along with our larger group as well. So please come if you can.
Thank you. Okay, I'll run back to the press searches after that, Jamie. Anything else? Questions from the press?
Our Fork Bridge supposed to be done before they did this tolling, and when they take it back off the thing to get it done? Because I know wasn't there a construction date for the North Fork Bridge? If I recall, maybe not. I'm probably wrong, so.
I don't believe that.
I think there were some date projections,
See, I thought I heard something.
but those were projections a couple years ago.
But that tolling issue is linked to that bridge, as it stands now.
It's not a safe bridge. Is it?
Yeah, but we've been fixing bridges for 100 years without tolling.
I wonder how much it cost us to pay for a toll on Interstate 80. Look at how high your Pennsylvania Turnpike is now.
Well, we asked that question at a session that we attended. We weren't given a definitive answer. But it goes back to our issue that it's going to impact people who live and work in this region. And it's going to drive daily traffic off the interstate. Or it's going to injure people financially who use it.
So they're estimating $1 to $4, $1 to $4 per car, $8 to $12 per truck. And they said that the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association, the cost to operate a truck will increase by $6,000 a year. That's what they're projecting. We already have inflation.
We already have. Any other questions?
Unrelated to, sorry,
Okay.
unrelated to the bridge project, but just since you're here, I wanted to ask if you have any updates to some of the projects going on around town, the truck stop or anything like that.
Truck stop's moving. We did talk to, the state did talk to Paul Fodor, who owns the Minnesota Business Park out there. She did not comment on Love's because that is Love's, but the process is moving along out there. So I wish I could give you the grand opening date. I'm holding on to that date, but I don't have it yet. So.
Okay.
And I haven't seen anything going on, although we've been promised that the Gold Eagle site and O'Reilly looks like it's starting to get supplies in. So,
What was the last one you said? I didn't hear what you said.
the O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wasn't there a Dairy Queen too that was supposed to be built?
Dairy Queen will come with BFS. That's what they told me. BFS has it starting in agreement. Supply chain is what I keep getting, which signature is true.
I appreciate that. I've had a couple of people ask, because the Gold Eagle site has kind of just sat.
Mhm.
Still
I've
not
been in
for,
communication with them and their intention is to come.
okay. They don't have any kind of timeline for that either though.
They're supposed to start late spring, so I guess it's late spring.
Here we go. Early spring maybe? Okay.
I'll keep you informed as I know things for sure.
Okay, anything else? If not, then I will look for a motion to adjourn.
So,
Thank you. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
So we want to take pictures with.
Yeah, let's,
Thanks.